Welcome to VCTV. Hi, I'm Christina, and I'm here with Sarah Prevette from Sprouter. Thanks for being with us here today.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
So tell me a little bit more about Sprouter. I mean, we all know about it, but would love for you to speak about it.
Well, Sprouter essentially is a Q&A platform for entrepreneurs, and that's kind of technical mumbo-jumbo to say that it's a place where startups can get help. So you just go on and you can have advice for people who have been there before you.
And so what's inspired the idea in the beginning? It's been such a success.
You know what, actually I failed at my first startup. It was one heck of a ride, and I thought, how can I make this process better? Like, how can I actually help startup founders who are in the same process that I was in so many years ago do it a little bit more effectively and efficiently, and that was the birth of Sprouter.
And we're here right now at the International Startup Festival in Montreal, and you're one of our great speakers, and I've been speaking with a lot of people here, and everyone enjoyed your presentation. And I'd like to speak about a few of the points, and one of them is the startup life cycle. Can you speak to me about the experience?
Well, you know what, I think that there is a lot of hype around the startup life cycle, and there's an expectation of a lot of founders that are going into their business for the first time. They think that everything's going to be a hockey stick, right? Like the growth is going to be just exponential out of the gate, and the reality is it's just not the case. And so I think the startup life cycle sort of goes through a learning curve, and at the beginning people are trying to protect their idea, they're trying to ask for asinine things like NDAs from investors, and then at some point you actually get that a little bit of traction, a little bit of boost. You think you've made it. You have that moment of buying into your own hype. Then it drops again, right? I mean, you're looking out and you go, okay, your traffic drops off once the PR drops off, and then you're left with that reality of, have I achieved product market fit? And I think that that's the sort of the point where you start to do a bounce, where you start to iterate on your idea, you find customers, you work with those customers to really discover, what that ideal solution is to that need that you're passionate about solving. And, it's in reality, I think most people experience the sloth ascent.
Right.
And so, the startup life cycle just may not be that hockey stick that we're all accustomed to thinking about.
And you were talking about solutions. You also mentioned something about startups who love the solutions more than the problems.
I think that there's a lot of entrepreneurs who are guilty of falling in love with their own product, and you really have to focus on the problem that you're solving and not the solution. It's not really about the technology and the sexiness of all the new things that you're doing and using Node and whatever else I've heard. It's really about solving a real problem. Fall in love with the problem, and you can iterate your solution continuously.
You also spoke to the idea of users versus customers. Can you speak a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah, you know what? I think that there's a common phenomenon right now about people getting caught up in having users and driving high volumes of traffic, whether or not it's relevant. And I think we need to step back and actually remember that customers are people who give you money. And if you have people who are using your app and using it for free, they're not customers. So you need to find another way to monetize and make sure you're running a business and not just creating a product.
Well, it's been a privilege speaking with you and having you here at Startup Festival. You're absolutely brilliant, and we're all great big fans, so good luck with Sprouter and everything.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for visiting VCTV, and come back again real soon.